Hey, yo, so timestamp on your screen if you want to skip to the team preview for the actual battle. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all, first off, this match was done like super late. It was done on Wednesday, but I'm gonna try and get this up today on Friday. And I'm not gonna lie, kind of procrastinated like 2 days or so. It's fully on me. This is why this is going up so late. So yeah, I want to keep it real with y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all and just be like, yeah, I was busy, when I really was only just kind of procrastinating. So apologies about that. But hey, you have 2 APA battles this weekend, and then Sunday we have our GBA Season 9 recap, and Week 1 should be going up next Sunday for GBA, so that should be pretty hype. But if you guys are excited for this, hit that thumbs up button down below. I think currently our record is 2-3 heading into this match. We are facing In Vivid Color. Check him out. Channel link and stuff will be down below. Awesome dude, and he does do a lot of live comms. So this battle, as you can tell, is not going to be live commentated, mainly because I've been having issues with my 3DS, and I'll mention that later in the video on the actual battle itself. So yeah, this week and Week 7 are going to be post commentated, so hopefully Week 8 will be live commentated if I can get the issue figured out, which I think I know what it is, so fingers crossed on that. But a quick little team breakdown here. So looking at Vivid's team, the biggest threats are easily Zygarde, Mega Scizor, and Necrozma. I feel like everything else I can pretty much take on accordingly. Like, I don't expect Scyther to come to this match. I don't expect the Tentacruel to come to this match, and I don't expect the, Heliolisk. Heliolisk mainly because any other time I've had a Nidoqueen and my opponents had a Heliolisk, they've never brought Heliolisk against me, so I don't expect Heliolisk. Everything else could have a potential chance to come, but the main issue, Zygarde, Mega Scizor, and Necrozma, are scary if they are set up, so I have to be very careful with those. So first off, we have Scarf Tauros here. This helps me check Dragon Dance Zygarde pretty solidly, because there's no way Zygarde should get up more than one Dragon Dance, so Ice Beam does a really solid chunk of damage. Fire Blast also always 2-hit KOs Scizor, which is nice, and then depending on what Necrozma said he's running, Body Slam can smack that, and then everything else is hit by all our 4 moves in general. Iron Tail is pretty much only for Deontay, which I do expect to come. I don't expect Deontay and Incineroar in this battle, so if he does bring Deontay, I at least want to have some type of way of hitting it for a whole lot of damage, because Iron Tail is going to hurt regardless. So next off, we have sub 3 attacks Mega Gardevoir. This set just kind of wrecks the entirety of his team. Obviously, if he does bring Boom Burst Swallow, which I do kind of expect, that could be a little bit annoying, and I guess Heliolisk with Hyper Voice could also be a bit of a problem. But if neither of those two come, which again I don't expect Heliolisk Swallow, maybe not, I don't know. But if neither of them come, then sub 3 attacks Mega Gardevoir here basically goes in. Honestly, I could have probably changed Psychic here for like Calm Mind if I really wanted to, because Hyper Voice and HP Fire basically hit everything. So I don't know, maybe that's something I should have done, but hindsight's 2020, so it's not that big of an issue. But we have some bulk just in case we need to take some physical hits, and the special attack investment still just allows Mega Gardevoir to pretty much obliterate everything, and we can outspeed a max speed Jolly Zygarde, if I'm not mistaken, before it potentially boosts. So next off, we have mainly especially defensive Nidoqueen here. This is of course my Heliolisk check and my Mega Deontay check, as well as maybe even Silvally check, because Silvally could come to this game. I'm not sure what type it would be, but it does have a decent enough matchup. So yeah, Nidoqueen just kind of comes in, gets up rocks, and hits everything with its coverage moves here. Ice Beam, of course, is for Zygarde. I think it always 2 KOs depending on his bulk. Earth Power for Stab, and then Fire Blast, of course, is there just for Scizor. I went Fire Blast over Flamethrower because I think Fire Blast 2 KOs just on the off chance that he's like max Spadef, max HP, and I don't think Flamethrower did because we're not running any special attack investment. Next off, we have Weavile here, which is pretty much specifically just for the Zygarde. Funnily enough, though, this could also work as an answer to Boom Burst, Spec Swallow, or to try and take a Hyper Voice from Heliolisk, I guess, if it really came down to it. But yeah, this is just really here for Zygarde. Like Incineroar, Deontay, and Scizor are all kind of deal with Weavile. If it wasn't for all 3 of those, I probably could have brought Banded, but Toxic hits 2 of those, and Knockoff, I guess, though, does some decent damage to Scizor, and then we just have Icicle Crash there in case we're ever going to click it. So next off, we have a super fat Assault Vest Metagross here. This is my answer to Necrozma potentially, as well as a backup answer to Swallow and the abundance of especially offensive mons. Explosion is really only there so I can just get off an absolute nuke on Necrozma, and I need the Assault Vest in case I need to take like Heat Waves from Necrozma or the Swallow respectively. So yeah, that's really all this set is here for. The Brave nature with the attack investment just ensures that we can do a solid amount of damage. The special attack investment is so I think we can always 2-hit KO Scizor unless it's like super spadef and max HP. And then finally we have physically, well, mainly physically defensive Rocky Helmet to Alomomola here. Of course, he mostly just has physically offensive mons, and whatever I need to take special hits from, I have Nidoqueen and Metagross, both of which sorry, would really appreciate a wish from Alomomola, which is great. So yeah, obviously Ice Beam is just for Zygarde, Scald is to get burns and protect, because wish and protect is really good. We really don't need leftovers, like getting off Rocky Helmet damage on all this physically offensive mons is going to be pretty nice as well. So yeah, that's our squad, guys. Let's jump into the battle. Hey, yo, how's it going, guys? Have for y'all today week 6 of the APA here. So as you can see, this is not going to be live commentated. Quick short version. Week 6 and week 7 will be post commentated because like 2 minutes before this battle started, my capture card decided to mess up, and then I had to do week 7 the day after I did this battle because this is done late because me and Vivid couldn't schedule before he went to PAX. So yeah, you guys are gonna get week 6 today on Friday hopefully, and then week 7 tomorrow on Saturday, and then we'll be back to normal schedule. So yeah, and then by week 8 I'm really hoping to have my capture card issues figured out, and then that way we'll be back to live commentary battles. Regardless though, if you guys do enjoy, hit that thumbs up button down below, and let's take a look at the team preview here. We are facing in Vivid color. Channel link and stuff will be down below. I did go over my team in the beginning of this video here, so looking at the team preview here right before the battle starts, because this is part of the battle in my opinion. I was really shocked to see that he did not bring Zygarde. I really felt like Zygarde was the biggest threat I had to deal with. However, though, I do have a Shaman, so it does kind of make sense that maybe he wouldn't want to bring that because he would expect me to bring Shaman. So no Zygarde was really surprising. Also surprised to see the Heliolisk along with Deontay and Incineroar. I didn't think he would bring both Deontay and Incineroar, so that could be a little bit annoying. And then Heliolisk could actually be a bit of a pain, so I have to be very careful with that. So going into this game, my lead was potentially just going to be Nidoqueen because realistically it pairs up amazingly against whatever he wants to lead with. Unless he wants to lead Necrozma, everything else basically just lets me get up rocks turn 1, and then that way I can start hopefully applying some pressure in this battle here. Plus Mega Gardevoir absolutely destroys him, so the more chip damage I can get off on his walls, the better it's going to be for my Mega Gardevoir later in this battle. So turn 1 he stays in, expecting me to go for the rocks, which is a fine plan on his part. Normally people do get up rocks turn 1, as he's able to do a solid chunk of damage to me with the knockoff. Because I am faster than him, I'll be able to hit him before he U-turns out of here, which is really nice because now this Incineroar is in range of being 2-hit KO'd by my Mega Gardevoir if I'm not mistaken. If not, then I can still apply more pressure to it later in the battle here. As he brings in the Silvally, turns out to be Silvally Water, and this is actually just a little bit scary because if he does have the multi-attack, it's going to be stab on top of already being super effective to my Nidoqueen, so I don't want to take that as I make a switch directly into my Alomomola. Does unfortunately turn out that he has the defog on this Silvally, and this can be very annoying, but it's not that big of an issue since I can just safely go for a wish here, as he ends up going for the Thunderbolt, not only paralyzing me but also getting the full para on the very same turn. And that kind of sucks because after this wish I was going to switch into my Nidoqueen, and then that way I would have my Alomomola at about 90-ish% HP, which is still really good, but now I have to waste an extra turn doing that, which I really don't want to. So this turn I am going to switch out. Like, I'll be back up to about 45-ish%, but because I am this low, SD Mega Scizor is looking a little bit scary, because if my Alomomola was at full HP, I would have been able to deal with it a whole lot easier. Regardless though, he switches into his Heliolisk as I bring in my Nidoqueen. He probably did think I would go for the Scald or the Protect there. Even if he went for the Ice Beam on my Nidoqueen switching with Silvally, I still lived the hit and I got the wish back, and then I could have potentially just switched out from there. So either way, I'm just going to decide to go for the Earth Power here, because so long as this Silvally is around, I will not be able to keep up my rocks in this battle. So I'm just going to try and be aggressive against him, because he's got Ice Beam and Thunderbolt. Oh, no, not Ice Beam, sorry. Because he's got Thunderbolt along with Parting Shot and Defog, I don't think he's going to have multi-attack. So even if he does have the Ice Beam, I'll still be able to take that regardless. So I do go for the Earth Power as he Parting Shots into the Necrozma. I don't want this to just start setting up all over my face, which is why I make the aggressive switch right into my Metagross here, because what this allows me to do is go for the potential explosion, or see what he wants to do against me, if he's just going to be aggressive, or maybe this will get up Stealth Rocks. As he does go for the Calm Mind, I should live any non-Z move 100% of the time, unless it is Z Heat Wave here. Basically, I lived any regular Z move unless it was Z Heat Wave, and he was max special attack invested. So it basically could come down to a damage roll here or not, because this Necrozma is actually a giant problem to my team. Like, I had it set in my mind that I most likely am going to explode with my Metagross on this Necrozma. Thankfully though, he was not fully invested in his special attack, and even though he does live the explosion, that is fine. All I needed my Metagross to do was live the hit and just nuke this Necrozma, because now this thing is no longer a problem whatsoever, and I figure he's just gonna sack it off to get a free switch into either Incineroar or the Mega Scizor. So I decided just to Mega here and go straight for the hit for the Hyper Voice, as maybe he thought that I would go for Hidden Power Fire, expecting him to switch into his Mega Scizor, which I guess does kind of make sense, but typically you don't want to switch in a Mega Scizor on a Mega Gardevoir, because it most likely will have Hidden Power Fire regardless. So he switches into his Incineroar here, which is easily going to be 2-hit KO'd at this point, thanks to the damage that my Nidoqueen did to it earlier on in the battle. And now I don't have to worry about this coming in and just freely going for U-turn and knockoff as much as it pleases, because I haven't been able to get up my Stealth Rock. So in comes the Heliolisk. I can live any hit that this Heliolisk wants to go for, but I figure it's in my best interest to actually save my Gardevoir for later in the battle, because if I am able to get rid of this Heliolisk and get my Gardevoir behind a substitute, that's going to be absolutely amazing for me, because I'm going to be able to apply so much pressure to him and definitely pick up at least 1 or 2 KOs, putting me in a much favorable position in this game. So I switched in my Alomomola on Heliolisk because I thought that he was gonna switch out himself, so I was gonna try and catch whatever he decided to switch in on my Nidoqueen, but because he went for the Surf, I do take the damage. Although I am above 50% now thanks to my regenerator, I'm gonna bring back in my Nidoqueen on the Volt Switch, if I'm not mistaken, as he goes for the Surf here, because I do have a whole bunch of Spadef EVs, even though I don't have the Black Sludge. Because he has not Life Orb or Specs, I can definitely live 2 Surfs from this. And as I mentioned, once this Heliolisk is gone, my Mega Gardevoir behind the sub will be a giant problem to him, because I can definitely substitute on that Silvally. So what I need to do is hopefully bait in Silvally so I can sub with my Gardevoir, but I did not expect him to directly switch in Silvally here after Heliolisk went down. And this is like the best case scenario that could have happened for me at this moment in the battle, because I can just bring in Gardevoir and I substitute absolutely for free. There is no way he will be able to break my substitute with any one hit, because he is definitely running an insane amount of Spadef bulk on this Silvally, and because I am EV to outspeed him, I will be able to substitute guaranteed before he's able to do anything to me. Now, I'm not entirely sure if Parting Shot goes through substitute or not. Because even if he had Parting Shotted here instead of trying to break my sub, even at -1, I'm doing a lot of damage to basically everything that he has, and I'm still gonna 2-hit KO the Mega Scizor with the Hidden Power Fire as well, and I can still 2-hit KO this Silvally regardless. I outspeed and knock out Necrozma, and then I forgot what his other Mon was. Yeah, he has 4 Mons left, I'm pretty sure. Regardless, though, I can just substitute here. Oh, Deontay, yeah. Well, I don't 2-KO Deontay after the -1, but I can still do a lot of damage to it. Either way, though, I am going to decide to get up the substitute here as he's going to switch into the Sableyes. I think that maybe he did this because he thought that I would have the hidden power fire. This way he could scout out for it, but I think if anything he should have just tried to bullet punch me because Mega Scizor does always live 1 hit. And again, Gardevoir behind a substitute, as you can see here with his healerless gone, has already been able to pick up 2 KOs, although 1 wasn't behind a sub, but you get what I mean. Like, he still has to break my substitute. Whatever he comes in is guaranteed to take 1 hit from my Gardevoir regardless of what he wants to do. So I'm able to do a solid 51% to this Deontay, and I'm hoping that if he does not have the leftovers, I can maybe get the roll in my favor to knock him out. I don't exactly know how much bulk he's running, but he does turn out to have the leftovers. So either way, at this point, it's in my best interest to just kind of be aggressive and try to pick up and take any KOs that I can. So I will be able to not only take this following Moonblast, but in return finish off this Deontay. At this point, his last 2 Mons are Scizor and Necrozma, and this is where things kind of became a little scary to me in a dumb way, because for some reason I thought that I still had my Nidoqueen in the back. So I was like, oh, I'll just sack off my Gardevoir here, because I mean I was going to sack off Mega Gardevoir regardless, but I was like, I'll sack off Mega Guard, I'll bring in Nidoqueen, I can hit 2 Fire Blasts, and it's GG, it's game. He's not going to be able to beat my Nidoqueen before I beat him. But it turns out that, of course, I did lose my Nidoqueen earlier in the battle, so I have to bring in my Tauros. I'm Scarf Tauros. Because Necrozma is so low, it doesn't really matter what he wants to do this turn. What matters is that I need to hit potentially 2 or 3 Fire Blasts, and luckily it's only gonna have to be 2 because he's gonna leave in the Scizor here, and I will be able to hit that second Fire Blast, and Tauros is indeed faster than his Necrozma, so I will be able to outspeed it and knock it out with the Body Slam, and that is going to be the victory in our favor for week 6 of the APA. So next week we will be taking on, well, not next week, actually tomorrow on Saturday, we are facing Wolfey, coach of the Milwaukee Bewares, I think. And yeah, we played that match literally after this battle, so hopefully we can get a dub in that game and we can go positive after week 7, because we still have a solid chance to make it to playoffs. It's not looking great, but we definitely still have a chance, and we're going to take any chances that we can to hopefully get us there into playoffs and hopefully another championship. So with that being said, if you guys did enjoy, hit that thumbs up button down below. I will see you all tomorrow on Saturday. Again, tomorrow's battle will be post-commentated by week 8. Hopefully we'll be back to live comms. And yeah, with that being said, thank you all for watching. Later, everybody.
Cause my brain and heart are both tied in the knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion. But when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears of hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping.